Can I admit something? I think Americans do quite a few things better than Germans. And Jim thinks that Europeans do a lot of things better than Americans. So today we're comparing notes. Okay, let me start. I think one thing which is what Americans really do well is convenience. They make things really easy, like drive-throughs, banks with drive-throughs, pharmacies with drive-throughs. So, and then, the whole delivery and pickup situation. I'm not going shopping in Walmart anymore because I order it in advance and then I pick it up on their parking lot. Someone packs it into my trunk and I go away. And then, which really was mind-blowing in the beginning. Okay, dryers. We have dryers in Germany, of course, but hardly anybody has one. Most of us hang our clothes up on racks. I haven't seen anyone doing this here in the US. They all have dryers, which is so convenient. I love dryers. I never want to live without a dryer anymore. But what really was amazing for me was garbage disposals. I have never seen anyone in Germany owning one, and I think this is an amazing thing. So I really think Americans excel in convenience. What do you think about that?
When you first came here, you didn't know what the garbage disposal
No.
was, and I turned the thing on,
Yes.
and you thought something was broken or something.
Yeah, you're right. It was such a low noise.
Yeah, the overarching theme of convenience. Yeah, Americans, businesses are very good at separating people from their money and finding very convenient ways to do.
Probably. Okay, I have another one, which is everybody says this, but I'm saying it too. I think the openness and friendliness of Americans are amazing. In all the countries I have traveled, I have not met this kind of friendliness towards strangers anywhere. And the art of making small talk to strangers is just mind-blowing to me. I have witnessed you making conversation with strangers in a convenience store. The guy at the register. I came back into the convenience store looking for you, and there you were talking with him about your kids having trouble in college and money issues. And I don't know, things that I would only exchange with good friends or people that I know very well.
How about when you first got here and you were at Walmart, and the person at the cash register struck up a conversation with you, and you were like mortified.
Oh my God, yeah, right. Well, that's right. I still think you excel in doing this. All of you do. But for me, as a German, I don't like being asked from the Walmart cashier, oh, and what are your plans for this weekend? And I, um, none of your business. And I didn't say that, but yes, and I had several moments like this, and I had a hard time. I can deal with this much better now and react much better. I learned from you. I learned from my friends here, and how to. But I will always lack the inspiration to have that kind of conversation. I depend on Americans starting it, and then I now know how to react and to be as open. But it's a challenge for me as a German. Yeah. So I have another thing, which was a big thing in the beginning for me. It was such a contradiction. I came here, and when I applied for jobs, I constantly came across this prejudice, positive prejudice about Germans having such a great work ethic. I started working here, and I knew about that. You often start with 2 weeks pay time off, 12 sick days per year, and 8 holidays. I couldn't understand why people thought that Germans have a great work ethic coming from Germany, I had a job where I had 2 months of paid vacation, unlimited paid sick days, and holidays, I don't know how many. Here I came, people were working round the clock. They had side jobs beside their full-time jobs. I just couldn't believe the amount of work that people were doing here all the time. What is that if not an amazing work ethic?
You're talking though about, I think there's two different ways to look at this though. You're talking about policy, what we have for vacation time,
Yeah,
maternity leave, and that
yeah,
kind of thing. Every day I watch you working until like 7 or 8 o'clock
yeah,
um, at night. So that seems to me you have a personal strong work ethic.
yes,
You take it upon yourself to make sure that the work
yeah, that gets
gets,
done.
and you work very hard. And my observation of Germans is that a lot of them are like that. If they have
Mhm.
something to do, they take the responsibility for it,
Yeah,
and they feel they're very driven to
yeah,
complete what they're supposed to complete.
yeah, and but that's my experience with Americans too,
Yeah.
and therefore still don't get why Americans think that the work ethic of Germans is better than the American work ethic. What is one thing you think Europeans do better than
I
Americans?
think generally speaking, the European education system is better.
Mm.
I think that young people there at a much earlier age are more aware of what's happening in the world. We were talking before, your friends, their kids, they at a very early age had studied in different countries
Mm.
already. We're
Yeah,
we're talking about, high school age, even
yeah,
before that here.
yeah,
And I think a big part of that is in Europe, you're very close. They're so close to
yeah,
other countries, to
yeah.
other cultures. I think they do education better in Europe than we do.
The other point I wanted to mention, which I think Americans do definitely better, and that is actually a point which is a little bit difficult for me to say because I hate it. Air conditioning. I hate air conditioning. Americans are very good at this. I worked in an office where the air conditioning was set to be at such a low temperature that I had to work in mittens in the midst of summer.
So when winter never ends for you in that
Yeah, right.
in that case, um,
Okay. Is there another thing you would think we do?
That Europeans do better than us. The simplicity of purchasing things. I'll first talk about meals, about
Mhm.
restaurants. Um, we have when you think about it, I remember being in Europe in the 80s and having my first meal at a restaurant and okay, I have to figure out the tip. No, you don't.
Mhm.
That's pretty much you give like, a euro or two
Mhm.
for something that's say 30 euros
Mhm.
for a meal.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, there's and here we have the 20% or 25%. And then buying things at stores. If you see something that is, say, it's 7 euros,
Mhm.
you go up to the counter, you pay 7 euros. The tax is already figured out, is already rolled into it. I always appreciated that
Yeah.
simplicity. That must have been difficult a little bit for you, an
In the
adjustment of,
beginning, it
yeah.
was because I didn't have a lot of money. So I was very cautious spending wise and tried to anticipate okay, now you have $50 to buy your groceries. And I bought the $50, calculating by looking at the labels. And then at the register, it was 55 or 57 or whatever because of the taxes that I hadn't included in my calculation. That was frustrating. Everything costs more than what you actually see, and it feels like cheating to me. I don't know.
It's my turn, isn't it?
Yes.
We Americans compared to Europeans are slobs dressing. Um, I remember I was on my way to Berlin one time and got on a plane, a connecting flight in Zurich, and sat next to, oh, young man in his 30s or something like that. And I'm dressed like an American. I've got a t-shirt on. I've got my shorts, my cargo shorts on. Um, when we go on planes, some of us have pajamas on. And
I know.
I'm sitting next to this guy And he has this, and he didn't look like he was going to work, but he had this nice pressed collared shirt on, nice slacks, just very well groomed. And Matt sitting next to him, I just felt like, oh my word. I remember remarking to you one time, I saw a guy in Germany um, working on like a road crew on
Mm-hmm.
construction or something like that. And I said, that guy is better dressed right now than most Americans, on a Friday evening.
And I was so surprised when
Yeah.
you said that. But after that, I paid more attention to it, and I must agree. I don't know. Is this Maine specific? People are
No,
very no,
no.
no.
In our in us being slobs.
Yeah.
No, no, no. Maine's probably we're probably better than a lot of the.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. I don't. If you've lived on both sides of the Atlantic or even just visited, what's one thing the other culture generally does better? Tell me in the comments and let's keep it friendly. We all know neither place is perfect. Tschüss und bis bald.